For years, we believed the Chris Watts case was finished, the man who wiped out his family already exposed. But now, his best friend has emerged with recordings that shatter the timeline we thought we knew.
I got 2 of each flavor. I am so excited. Chris should be here any minute, and Bella, stop, baby. No. We can't open them yet. And as soon as he gets here, I think he's actually pulling in. So if he is, so again, don't mind me. I'm a hot mess. I need a shower, but I don't care. I'm getting ready for Vegas. I had to take Bella to the doctors to make sure she was good from her flu last week. So I apologize in advance. Oh my God, Amanda, I'm so excited. Steve, Aaron, hey guys, hey Kim. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So Chris is actually pulling in. It is just one of those days. So, yes, baby.
I want to buy this.
You want a laptop? Okay. She wants a laptop. Guess what we do with that? When you want something, we add it to your vision board, right? Right? Don't we add it to your vision board? Yep.
Looking at it and his face changes, right? That's a creepy fucking picture. In my mind, and I have the picture and I can send it to you now. Somebody tried to steal it off my Facebook page. I have a picture of him standing in the background of my kid blowing out a candle.
Some cases never really fade away. No matter how much time passes, the unanswered questions linger, and the silence still feels heavy. The Chris Watts case is one of those stories. Over the years, we've heard from investigators, the media, and family members, but one viewpoint has largely remained in the shadows. In this video, you'll hear from someone who knew Chris Watts personally, his best friend. He speaks candidly about who Chris was before the crimes, what their friendship was like, and how everything shifted once the truth came to light. This isn't about breaking headlines. It's about reflection, understanding, and facing the unsettling reality of how someone so close could fail to see the warning signs. Before we begin, take a moment, because what you're about to hear adds a meaningful layer to a case that continues to affect so many lives. Let us first pause in remembrance. Heavenly Father, we pray for Shannon Watts, her daughters Bella and Celeste, and her unborn son, Nichole. May their souls rest in eternal peace, and may their loved ones find strength, comfort, and healing. May their memory forever remind us of the value of life and truth. If you're watching in respect and remembrance, please type Amen in the comments. And if you care about true crime shared with honesty, depth, and compassion, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. Your support helps ensure these stories are told with care and never forgotten. I'd also like to hear from you. In the comments, share your thoughts. Do you believe Chris Watts received the punishment he deserved, or should the outcome have been different? Let's discuss this respectfully. Now, let's listen closely to the perspective of someone who knew Chris long before the world did.
Jeremy Lindstrom here with us tonight, and we're going to be talking about the Chris Watts story. You guys have intimate details. Potentially the last person to actually see Chris and the girls alive. Is that correct?
Yes.
We want to kind of go into your aspect of the story, and as it's told in a first person, there's a whole lot of information and detail that you guys have, some of which I don't think has actually been shared before. And so we want to kind of dive into this story. Obviously, the anniversary is coming up. It's been a big story around the country, and a lot of people are really interested in it. So we are very appreciative that you guys are here to actually hear this story firsthand from the people that actually probably saw them last. So introduce yourself.
I'm Jeremy Lindstrom.
And how do you know the what?
I know them because I worked with both of them.
Okay, go into a little bit of that for me. Worked with them as in how? What was your relationship?
Chris was a very good mechanic, master technician. Shanann was a salesperson at the dealership I was at. Met them there. They don't have family that live in Colorado, neither do we. So we kind of struck off a little bit of a family friendship. They would come over to our house for birthday parties, our kids' birthday parties, Father's Day, Super Bowls, sporadic football games because they were big Pittsburgh Steelers fans. So, and we're from San Diego, so Chargers fans. If
Right.
they ever played, we were together for that game. They would have parties at their house for Steelers parties, and we'd go over and watch the game with them, and just random barbecues throughout the summer.
So your initial contact was through work, though.
Absolutely.
And what about you, Jennifer? How did you know them?
through Jeremy. He met them both at work, and he said, hey, there's this nice couple, and they just moved out here, and they don't have any family, and we should go out to dinner with them and hang out. And then after that, we just started hanging out with them regularly. And
So I kind of want to go back and forth between the two of you because I really want to set the stage. There's a whole lot of documentation on the story. And in the documentation of the story, there is kind of a common theme, really, that most people didn't think this guy was capable of this.
No, absolutely not.
So I kind of want to get your perspective, when you first met him, kind of when you first got to know the guy and so on and so forth, and know Shanann, because part of this story is, and you'd said it before, a little bit, most people think that you knew him first, but you actually knew Shanann better.
Yes.
So I kind of want to get that perspective on this. So I want you both, we'll start with you, kind of how you knew him first, and then I want to get your perspective on what you thought of both Chris and Shanann.
Shanann was very detail-oriented, very OCD in a way, right? Chris was mow the lawn, clean out the garage. It was a very old-school, traditional family value in their house. Chris was a mechanic. Shanann was a mother, right? Like, very traditional along a lot of those. I told her one day at work, hey, I want to meet with you every Monday at 1 o'clock. Let's go through your customers. Let's see what I can help you with. Let's see what I can do. She would show up in my office, whether I was ready or not, with her phone. My alarm went off.
Yeah.
She would hold me accountable for our meetings. And Chris was meticulous with everything. That kid was one of the best mechanics I've ever seen fixing cars. He had a passion for what he did fixing cars at the store as a service guy. One day for his birthday, she bought him a supercharger for his Mustang. Like, would you think anything different? No. She knew what he loved. He knew what she loved. It worked, right? Everything worked. He is a hardworking kid. Anything she said to do, he would do it. 100% of the time. Hey, my parents are going to move out here. You're going to fly out to the East Coast, and you're driving the moving truck back, and they're going to fly home. He's like, I'm good with that. I'll drive the truck so they can fly home. They don't have to ride in the truck, right? This is the kid that did this. So there's no way, shape, or form would I ever believe this could happen.
Well, there's certainly a consensus with a lot of the stuff that's out there that is a very accurate description from a lot
100%.
of people. How did you feel about the two?
pretty much the same. Like Shanann was always, like from the moment I met her, she was always a super outgoing and super friendly. She wanted to, you know, when we first met her, she didn't have any kids yet, and she was, but you could tell that they really wanted to have kids, and she was really interested in, you know, our girls and what, you know, what they liked, and wanted to spend time with them. And then she got pregnant with her oldest, Bella, and you could tell that that was, you know, always her dream, is to have kids. And
Exciting moment.
yes,
Nothing seemed odd.
Well, she wasn't even sure she could have kids, right?
they did have, I know, some fertility problems with the first two, and
That she discussed with you?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, she just always really wanted to be a mom, and she loved, like, when she was pregnant, she would always be excited about, oh, I'm, you know, decorating the baby's nursery, and this is the theme I chose, and I got all the clothes ready, and they're all washed and hung up, but I'm only 4 months pregnant, and
So very type A, like Jeremy just
absolutely.
described.
yeah, very
Absolutely.
organized, and just always like ready to go. Like what's the next thing? And you know, she just always had something going on that she could really dive into and be involved in,
And consistently that way every time you met him.
oh yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
So tell me how often that you guys did get together. I know we talked about some football games and some parties, which we're going to get to the one party, which was the night before. But prior to that, did you hang out on a pretty regular basis?
Regular as in maybe 6-8 times a year,
Okay.
depending on stuff. If I ever invited them to something, they showed up.
Yeah.
It's just, if they invited us to something, we showed up. It was just how we lived, what, 2 miles from each other?
So she worked with you. Did you develop a relationship with him
yes and no.
Well, you know,
right?
when you go to parties a lot of times and you're hanging out, the men will kind of go over to one side, women will kind of do their thing.
Yeah.
Were you with him one-on-one a lot? Not so much.
No, he would come over, and his main goal was my food. Whatever I barbecued, whatever I smoked up, whatever I cooked, whatever we put out, he was like, I'm coming over because I know there's food.
If it's free food, I'm showing up.
Right.
Right? But he spent a lot of time with the kids.
Yes.
Shanann was more, hey, how can I help clean? What can I cook? What can I do? She needed to be involved in the party, right? Chris was involved in the kids and making sure they were taken care of, they were okay, right? Like, that's just how it always happened. Hey, they wouldn't leave. Shanann's like, I want to help clean the kitchen. I want to help put the dishes away. I want to do this. Like, that was normal. As normal as could be with really good friends.
Consistently every time, too.
100%.
100%. So there was nothing early on where you were like, wow, this is an interesting type of dynamic relationship. It was actually one of those just really good old-fashioned school relationships.
No, this was a relationship that people would probably wish for. With what she demanded in life and his acceptable personality, fit.
Which is really interesting because it sets up a story that's almost unfathomable anyway, and we're going to get to that because we've talked off camera about this before, and this is what makes the story so intriguing to me, because it is very difficult to place, and we're going to ask you a lot of those questions because I know you feel the same way. So leading up to that night, I want to jump right into the night before. They're at your house. The birthday. Describe that party. That's the night before.
Extremely normal. We invited Chris because we knew Shanann was out of town. They talked, and we knew she wasn't going to be there.
Now, she was in Arizona.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you talk to her while she was in Arizona?
No, I did not, but my daughter did because she had actually babysat the girls the night before the birthday party.
Correct.
So Chris could go to a
Baseball game.
alleged baseball game.
Right.
Which I invited him to the Broncos because I received tickets, and he told me he couldn't go because his work would be mad if he didn't use the tickets.
And this was the night before the
Yeah.
party.
Yes.
Yeah, this was literally Saturday night.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sunday
so
was the
let's
party.
just start there. So the night before your party, you had invited him to the Bronco game.
I invited him a few days earlier, and that's when he texted me back, oh, I can't go. I got tickets to the Rockies game, and
I need
if
a
I don't use
babysitter.
them, my work's going to be mad that I didn't use them. And I get that because that's 100% normal conversation. Because if my work gave me their season tickets for the Broncos.
So we know in hindsight, though, that he had taken this mistress
Yes.
to the game.
Right.
But you did not know that.
No.
Your friends, but did they have any other friends that they were really, really close to that they did a lot of things with?
The Thrive friends, but we didn't know any of them, but I heard Shanann would talk about them.
But you guys had never heard any marital problems. Neither one of them had
No.
discussed any of that.
None of the marital, none of the financial, none of any of that.
On the surface, it's just like, this is the perfect family.
Yes.
Okay. So again, hindsight, we find this out. But you invite him. He says he's going to go to this game.
Normal excuse, normal everything. I don't think anything. I have zero radar of this kid ever lying to me. Zero radar, right?
Yeah.
And so when he said, oh, the work's going to get mad if I don't use these tickets, I get it.
Right.
I've been there. I
Makes
understand
sense.
that. Makes 100% sense. And I invited him because I thought I remembered him saying one time he'd never actually been to a live NFL game. So I was like, I thought of him right out of the gate. And I'm like, why not? I know that she's out of town. And before she had went to before she went to North Carolina, she's like, hey, make sure you call him and hang out with him. I don't want him doing anything dumb while I'm gone.
Now, when did
Right.
she leave to go to North Carolina? That was prior to.
That was, 5 weeks before?
Maybe, yeah,
Okay.
at more towards the beginning of the summer.
Right.
She had,
Did we think it was weird she was leaving for 5 weeks with the kids to North Carolina? Sure.
yeah.
Yes.
But Shanann's personality didn't lead down any paths of marital issues or anything, right?
Well, this is why we're getting your story, because you guys have a really interesting perspective on the story. Because again, knowing people, being friends. Now, there's a lot of times in relationships people don't tell their personal stuff, right?
Sure.
Right.
But it was odd that she had left. But still, in your mind, because you'd seen them interact so well together, the 5 weeks, just 5 weeks, you thought maybe
Yeah.
she's type A, she's going to go do whatever she's going to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Get me to the party the night before. Your
My
party.
son's birthday party.
Yes.
He came over like they have for the last 4 years, right? They came over, he shows up, he's got the diaper bags, he's got the girls, you know, and it was normal conversation with Shanann. It was, hey, Chris is gonna bring the girls over. Of course, nothing out of the blue. We're playing in the backyard, the girls are running around, they're playing in the little swimming pool.
Was he on time?
Give or take, there was no time.
Well, I mean, he was a little bit later, but he had mentioned when he got there that the girls had just woken up from their nap. And
nap was very important. Shanann
Yeah.
had these girls on a
On a
schedule.
schedule.
Okay, so they were on schedule,
Yeah.
so nothing there was odd. It's just
Nope.
they were taking a nap and then they showed up. Okay.
Yep.
They were-
And we
all their,
were playing water balloons in the backyard. Chris was throwing water balloons. The girls were throwing water balloons. They were all normal kids' birthday party. Nothing crazy, right?
Do you see why I ask these questions? Because on the outside, it's extremely difficult. And because you guys have this really intimate knowledge, this is why it's really an interesting topic. And I'm trying to make sure we don't skip anything or miss anything. Because I think you guys would have caught it. You know him pretty intimately. So he's out there
If
playing.
anything was off.
yeah.
Say that again?
If anything was off, absolutely, we would have seen something.
Correct. He would be out there playing with the water balloons because we talked about it earlier where you're like, he would kind of migrate towards where the kids are at.
Yep.
Okay. So he's out playing with the kids, nothing out of the normal. He was a little bit late, but there's a nap. We kind of know that.
Right. Well, and at the same time, this is the first time we've seen one of them without the other. So we wouldn't have anything to judge off of.
Okay.
But it was still normal, like with the kids. But, you know, then when we got to the birthday cake, he was standing in there. He knew that the girls had allergies. She knows more about what their allergies were, but he didn't let them have cake. He didn't let them have certain things because he knew they had allergies, right? We got them popsicles out of the garage because they could have popsicles. And then shortly after the cake, it was time for them to go home because their bedtime is 7-ish o'clock.
Again, on schedule.
On schedule.
So let me ask
100%.
you a question. When you were talking about the birthday cake, when he tells you they can't have it because of their allergies, just a sincere, I mean, was there anything about that where you would be like, okay, that's odd or anything like that?
No, because, I mean, we knew the kids had allergies, and he just said, you know, I'm sorry, they can't have cake, and you could tell that they were disappointed, so that at that point I said, okay, well, we have, you know, just ice pops in the freezer outside.
And was that conversation the same conversation you'd always had with him?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Every birthday party's been the same. They can't have the cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So it was not abnormal by any means.
Yeah, I've replayed that birthday party in my head 1,000 times
Yes.
since then, just to see, like, was there something that we missed that, you know, we could.
We haven't had his birthday party at our house since then.
Well, so one of the things that I certainly wanted to ask is, obviously at a birthday party you're taking pictures. Did you guys take a bunch of
Yes.
pictures that evening?
Oh, yeah.
And tell me anything about the pictures. Was there anything about the pictures that stood out to be different?
No. Here's so in my mind, and I have the picture and I can send it to you now. Somebody tried to steal it off my Facebook page from another media source, right? And I had them take it down, and they did take it down. But I have a picture of him standing in the background of my kid blowing out a candle. Probably the most awkward. That's the image that's in my brain. Of him blowing out his candles and Chris standing behind him and the girls standing on the side with Bella looking up and over trying to watch him blow out his candles. Right? That's my last image of them.
So when you see that picture and you see him, is it a different Chris Watts than you knew?
You keep looking at it and his face changes, right? Every time I look at that photo, his face changes, and now it's like, that's a creepy fucking picture.
Yeah.
Right? Like for real.
He truly looks evil in that picture.
Yes.
Truly.
That
In the
is
beginning,
so interesting.
absolutely not. Now, absolutely, right?
Because and the way his eyes, he's just like slightly looking up at, like towards the camera, just with like no soul in his eyes.
Did you have the same visceral response as Jeremy did?
Yeah.
When you saw that picture?
Yeah, and it was the same too when we saw him being in his infamous porch interview after everything happened.
Right.
He looked and sounded different in that interview. Like it wasn't him. It was him obviously, but he looked and sounded different.
So
and same
you
with that
almost
picture.
knew then, because we're going to get to this in a little bit, because you haven't kept up quite as much as she has.
Right,
in there,
and I'm probably one of 3 supporters that thought that news interview was not what everybody else saw. Right, when you're inside the bubble and you don't want to believe things, you still don't see things.
Well, I'm going to get to that, because I'm going to really hammer that hard, because especially with, you were there, you were at the house, but I'm going to bring that up in just a second. So as with anybody that goes to a birthday party or anything, there comes that moment where it's time to go. And obviously Shanann's not there, who would have cleaned up and made sure all that happened. Was there any anxiety, anything, or was the departure also what you would consider normal?
Extremely normal.
Yep.
Was it, come on girls, let's get in the car? I mean, what was that?
It was bedtime's coming up, right?
Yeah.
We know that. We know Shanann's schedule. She has a schedule, and if you tell us it's her schedule, we're going to say, okay.
Yeah.
Right? That's okay. Right? And we don't.
Yeah. Well, and they stayed a long time too. It's not like they were there and left in 30 minutes.
Well, that's what I want to know. The party started how long were they there?
Probably for 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours normal.
They were there for
and that would be normal.
Yeah, they were there for the playing and the eating and the cake and the presents. Like they're in all, during a party you take a series of pictures of the kids playing, of the presents and the cake. They're in all of those events that happened at the party, and then they just.
And he doesn't drink or anything, right?
So they just said, all right, well, we got to get going.
So he had nothing to drink?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't drink. Not his thing.
Yeah. Very, very, very fascinating, because again, this is kind of the story I think that a lot of people have never heard before.
Right.
And it's a real interesting thing, because again, when we can all put ourselves in that situation to know what is coming down the pipeline here. You would think, absolutely think, that there would be something out of place or something not right.
Yeah, there's no way in my brain that this kid said, hey, can't wait to marry that girl so we can have kids and kill them all.
My lawn has started to die, and what are you doing to keep your lawn green? He told me. I would never have known. Geez, that's scary. Mom and Dad used to live over there too with them.
Okay. When was the last time you saw Mom and Dad?
I believe it was Dad, and that could have been maybe 3 weeks ago in the backyard.
Okay.
And they're very quiet.
Okay.
I never hear any noises. They have a little dog.
Okay.
And I hardly ever see any lights on.
Okay. Anything different over the last, 2 days, 3 days? Odd vehicles, odd noises, odd lights?
There was a truck out here yesterday. In fact, that's why I thought you were here yesterday. Maybe someone complained about that I hadn't seen before.
What type of truck?
It was kind of almost a steel gray.
Okay.
Don't ask me to make
Okay.
year. But that was late afternoon. The Dad has a great big truck, and it's gray. But this one was smaller.
Okay.
This one was smaller.
Then
But I hadn't seen it before, so
any markings or stickers or anything that would be weird? You wouldn't by chance remember if the plate was green or red or?
No, I kind of just I don't
glanced
pay
at
any attention, because I believe he owns his own business or something, because he always has a truck parked there, so kind of.
I gotcha.
I just kind of noticed it wasn't the normal truck.
Was it dirty by any means?
No, it wasn't. And it couldn't have been that old.
Okay. How long was the truck sitting there?
I saw it yesterday morning around 5:15 a.m. because I go to the gym then.
Okay.
It was still there when I got back at 6:45. and then it was there around, I think, noontime.
Okay.
And the reason I mention it is it was gone by the time you guys left yesterday.
Okay. Well, did you see the police in the area?